Thank you. Bismillah Rahmanir Rahim. Respected chairperson, fellow panelists, and honorable participants. Let me summarize what our keynote speaker has suggested for South-South cooperation. In brief, he has suggested setting up technical support centers, sharing successful models or innovations, and then exchange of resource person to help each of the South-South countries. One thing we have to remember, the data collection for any population-related activities depends on three types of data collection. One is national census, which we do periodically, as you know, and also you know that we collect data on household level, household surveys, whatever different name we can call it, DHS, other data collection system. And third are institutional data. The institutional data is again several organizations collecting institutional data, but one problem with us is right now that we collect data, but we don't know the quality of that data. So if we base our planning on these types of data, which is not quality or project driven, then we end up with total wastage of resources. Sometimes it goes negatively. So what we have to do in the South-South countries, particularly the countries we are moving towards developing stage to developed stage, we have to disintegrate data, we have to triangulate data. Each of our institutions are collecting data in different ways, but within the countries we are not even discussing this thing. I'm not talking about the outside the country, not in the other countries. Inside the countries, several organizations collecting. Digitalization is doing fast right now, and each of these organizations are trying to collect data digitally. But there will be a need for combining those data, not multiple or duplication of the same data. Let me give you an example. We need data on environment. If we don't have data on environment, all these SDGs goal will be somewhere, limited if we don't know what is happening in the country as a whole. In the rainfall, which is now making a major havoc in the South Asian countries, and with this technological innovation, we know when the rainfall is there, what quantity of rainfall is there, and how much flow of water will be coming and how to save our population. Take example of Bangladesh. People are predicting that 1/3 of the country will be underwater in next 20 to 25 years, certain period of time, not all the time, and certain period of time, but it will become inhabitable. So what will happen to this 1/3 of people who are living in those areas? They have to move to other areas, so displacement, urbanization, population movement. We have to think about those very carefully. Recently, in the last 2 months, in the north and east side of Bangladesh has experienced 3 times flood situation for 10 to 12 days. 400 millimeters to 500 millimeters rainfall per day in Upper Assam, in Cherrapunji. Water comes down to Bangladesh in 2 days' time, 3 days' time, and inundating areas with 6 feet to 8 feet water. So we need data on climate change. SDGs related data, we need disintegrated data. Still we are talking about data in general. We are not disintegrating. I'm not disintegrating, talking about male and female. I'm talking about regional disintegration, because planning process has to depend on how the areas are doing fast. Some areas are moving very fast. In case of Bangladesh, approximately 40% of our GDP is being grown or driven by the areas 50 square kilometers of Dhaka city. So if any disaster happen in Dhaka city, think about what will happen in whole economy. Secondly, if we talk about mission-readable data, some of us have discussed here quickly the artificial intelligence. Definitely we can use artificial intelligence, but before using artificial intelligence, we have to know how we can use that artificial intelligence. Our technical education is not geared towards that area to give our students or the people who are involved in that sector on artificial intelligence. South-South cooperation can play. We don't have to do a major innovation in this field. We can use other people develop software to implement in our country. Another thing our keynote speaker mentioned about digitalization, we can easily see several things nowadays with digital maps. And digitalization is a very commonly used in water sector. So if you think about water sector, we can easily digitalize our population data and see where the population movements are and how their population movement can be modified, can be properly provide services. Similarly, multiple technologies can be used for data collection nowadays. We don't have to have in one type of technology being used. Earlier, we used to have paper-based data, or we used to have computer-based data. Multiple technologies we can use. And lastly, I will support that we need real-time data. What we are talking about data now, it is 2 to 3 years old data. So any DHS, any census, when analyze those things, it takes 2 to 3 years to give you data, and data being collected 1 year later. So in general, gap time is 3 to 4 years. So real-time data, how can we do it? Several countries are trying it, and we should also try to do a real-time data collection, particularly in few sectors like education sector, health sector, and artificial intelligence can be easily used on those places to get real-time data in health sector, particularly disease pattern, epidemic, and all kinds of quantification of this disease in different direction. Another issues we have discussed, several of our people, fellow participants discussed about the ICPD. ICPD we have from 1994 till today, we have still not able to fulfill what we have committed in 1994. So we have to be fast, because we have already passed X number of years, and we'll be spending, if we think about ICPD 30 plus, we have already passed 30 years. So how many years we have to be passing through that to get this goal which we have set in 1994. Countries are not in equal level of economic development, I understand, but countries who have developed themselves, they can share the resources with other countries, like countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, nearer countries in the same geographical location. Should we have to do different types of data collection, or can we do a combined data collection system? Still political issues will be there, but we can think about South-South cooperation. Lastly, I will thank ICPD, particularly PPD and ICPD related all the participants to taking this action for these few, particularly UNFPA this year for 30 years of ICPD's celebration, and PPD being part of jointly they are organizing this seminar so that we can discuss what is the quality of data, how can utilize ourselves, and we have to be open. We should not be depending our quality of data. If it is problem, we have to openly accept it and say that we can improve it. As long as we will not be open, we will be still hiding our information, and at the end of the day, our local people, the citizens will be suffering. Thank you very much.